Welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. My name is Khalif. I wanted to chat about something that is sort of sitting on my heart. And I did take a few notes just to help me guide myself because this is actually my second time recording this video, okay? So I hope y'all like this mic. This mic is so cute. Look, y'all, I was so happy when I got this. I was just like, this has brought me so much joy. Like, it's just so fly and so pretty and so cute. Sorry, I got makeup on it back here. But, oh, I love this microphone. It's just the cutest thing. But something that was on my heart is I wanted to talk about why people disappoint, right? So in life, like, why is it that people disappoint us, right? Why is it that in the multiple relationships that we have, whether it be friends, family, co-workers, intimate relationships like boyfriend, girlfriend, or whoever your partner is, right? You learn, or I don't want to say you learn, you go through things, and people somewhere along the line disappoint you or let you down, right? I want to talk about the why that happens, right? Because I've even found myself in a space where I've been disappointed and I'm just like, fuck, like I'm really trying with this friendship or I'm really trying with this relationship, just hypothetically, right? And this other person is just not, it's no feedback. Like they're just not getting it. Like they're just not getting it. And sometimes when that occurs, it could trigger us and it can make us think like everyone is like this. Like, what's the point? Like, what's the point of even wanting romance? Or what's the point of even wanting friendship? Or what's the point of even wanting a healthy connection with family if people are always gonna do something, right? Or the relationship will always have a sour point and so forth, right? But the first thing I wanted to say in regards to why people disappoint is because no one is perfect, right? Isn't that a shocker? Theoretically, when I say this, right, or when people say no one is perfect, right, I think sometimes people kind of say it loosely, but they don't really hold on to that, right? Because whenever we interact with each other, we get caught up in the euphoric phases of our interactions with a person, right? So, for example, let's say if it's a friend or someone you're dating, right? You get caught up in who they are when you first meet them. You get caught up in the mask of who they are, right? That's what you get caught up in, right? So you're used to that euphoria, that what's the word? What's the word that I'm looking for? Dopamine, that dopamine chemical, that effect of joy, of passion, of excitement, right? When you're meeting someone who you have something in common with, right? And you all are really shooting the shit and relating, right? You're kicking it, you're talking, you're vibing. Oh, you like this music? I like this music too. Oh, you use this makeup, sis? I use that makeup too. Oh, you my good Judy. We like going here. We like the same food, right? And you're meeting a person's mask, right? And it's not until you get to know them a little bit longer, and this is for everyone because relationships have multiple sides. Like there will be times where you might have a misunderstanding with someone, right? That's normal. That's a part of this particular experience, right? As we navigate each other and deal with each other, right? That's when you start to see that they are truly not perfect and, they might be a little annoying sometimes, or y'all might not see eye to eye on every single topic or every single thing that's going on or every single thing that you talk about. And that leads into the next point. They aren't perfect because, number two, they are human. They are human. And just like you, they are also a human and they are also having the same human experience, right? We all have emotions. We all have good days. We all have bad days. We all have fair days, right? And something that I like to hold on to whenever I'm disappointed is like, okay, well, this was going to happen. And not even in a negative way, you all, not in a negative way. In a way of, well, they're a human. I have to, it depends on what occurred. It depends on what happened, right? It depends on what that disappointment, it depends on the cause, right? As to why I'm disappointed, right? It could be them doing a certain action or not doing something, right? But I also have to give them the room of like, okay, well, they're a human, they're a person. Was this something that they chose to do? Did they choose to disappoint me? Or did they know? Or did they not know? Or was something out of their control, right? We have to remember that they are just human, right? And humans have error. We do. All of us have error. And none of us are beyond reproach. I don't care who you are. You could be nobody on this planet is above reproach. You could be the most popular, most famous, most beautiful. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. None of us are beyond reproach. None of us are. Um, Perfection doesn't exist, right? I think that so many times in our relationships, we often have these super, super, super high expectations on how people should show up, right? And what, even me, I forget that. There are times where I have to forget, damn, this friend doesn't, for example, this friend may not have the same friendship style, communication style, values that I have, right? So, in the same way that I would show up, they're not going to show up for me. Or someone might have that view of me, right? I'm not perfect as well. I've been the villain in a few people's stories. And I think sometimes, like me, I'm not afraid to admit that. Like, I've had failed friendships before, and I know why, right? And I've had friendships where to that other person, I'm the bad guy, I'm the villain, right? To me, I think it depends on the situation. It's subjective. I have had situations where I was like, oh, I was the villain. Oh, I was. And it hurt me, right? When they caught me out on that. And then they probably ended the friendship or the relationship or whatever it may be. And I would be like, okay, you know what? Take it as a learning experience, because I know my heart. I know that I'm a good person. I know my heart. And I know that I can still be redirected for goodness and healthy relationships. And this is nothing but another moment to practice that and have that particular experience, right? So I can learn from that. But perfection does not exist. And what I love about point three is that I see it all the time, especially with dating. I think that so many people just, that's why it's hard to date, honestly, especially in like big cities, big towns. And in today's age, you know, everyone always cries about social media and how bad social media is. It's not just only, sorry for stuttering. It's not just only social media. I don't think it's just that. I think it's, I think social media creates this, like this elusive chase for perfection. Everywhere we go, I see everyone is seeking perfection. Everyone is seeking perfect relationship. This person has to look the perfect way. This person has to eat. Like, everyone is so caught up. Not everyone, but a lot of people are caught up on this perfection thing, and they chase it, and they spend their lives breaking hearts and leaving people and breaking up with people and playing games, especially with dating, child, playing games and just causing harm to people without just learning how to just be happy. Like, I see it all the time, and I'm like, dang, why can't you just be happy with your person? You found your person. Why are you not fulfilled? Why are you not happy? Like, I've seen that with people, right? I'm one of those people where if I'm not happy, it usually ends, right? Usually I end it or the other person ends. Because for me, I want to remain content, right? And I know that no one is perfect, right? But it's important to be happy in your relationships and your dynamics, right? And I was speaking in regards to dating in that last example. Friendships, when it comes to perfection, I feel like a lot of us are a little bit more lenient when it comes to friendships. A little bit. I think most people kind of give their friends a little bit more. Yeah, that's probably subjective. Let me backtrack on that one. I don't know. But I do think that people tend to be lenient with friends, depending on if they've been like traumatized by friendships or have some type of PTSD from friendships or something like that. Number four, your expectations and hopes are too high. Are they even realistic? That's what I put down. So when it comes to accepting that perfection doesn't exist, I think the reason why we become so disappointed is because we have high expectations of people. And here's my thing. I'm not saying don't have expectations, right? But you should either tell individuals how to show up or how they can. Tell people, like, you know how they say teach people how to treat you, right? You can do that depending on if you're not being treated right, whether it be friendships or dating or family. Um, you could do that first, but also accept that sometimes our expectations are too obtainable. I think that, like, for example, it's impossible to think that someone will always be there for your beck and call, especially with friendships, right? I think that sometimes if we become really close with friends, we put a lot of pressure on them, and we expect them to be there for us all the time, and nobody can do that. No one has the capacity or energy to do that. And it wasn't until I got into my later 20s, my mid to late 20s, that I started to understand that. Once I had like 3 bad friendship breakups, I was like, damn, I think I put too much weight on those people. Or a few of them did it to me too. Because, energy is transferable, right? I put a lot of weight on my friends at that time. And I feel like I probably annoyed them at some time because I'm so passionate, right? But also too, I remember I said this to one of my good friends, one of my close friends right now. I told her, and she was like, "No, but don't always blame it on yourself." She was like, "Some people don't know how to show up as friends, right?" And when she said that, I was like, "Oh, you're right." And when I looked back at those three friendships, there was only one person that really showed up for me as a friend, and I think her and I just kind of grew apart, and she had her own shit going on. But the other two, actually, no, it was two of them that showed up as a friend. It was one who didn't. It was one who was a user and a manipulator. A user and a manipulator, a hot mess, but I still loved this person dearly. But what I would say, or what I'm trying to say here, is that once my friend let me know that, I was like, oh, maybe they just didn't know how to show up. So maybe I should have said how a friend should show up or something. So for some reason, I kept turning it back to me, right? But I realized that I had a high expectation for how a friend should show up, and then I think, and that's something that I didn't really see at first, and I think that's why I was so hurt and I was so disappointed, and why I held on to those friendships for so long. And even for the friend who was the user and the manipulator, we had like a 3 or 4 year break before we connected, right? I think it was a 3 year break, 3 or 4 year break, and we reconnected. And I was like, oh, we're giving it a second try. I miss this person so much. I love this person. But, I felt like it was like a very one sided reciprocal relationship. Um, so, yeah. Anyways, I had to learn that my expectations were just too high in some cases, right? I can't expect someone to carry me all the time. And that leads into my next point. Let go of the control factor with your expectations and learn how to go with the flow of the relationship. When it comes to expectations, I also think that there's a hint of control there. Oftentimes, the reason why I wrote that down and I thought about this, we want to control everything, and we just can't control. They're literally, if you really think about it in life, we literally don't have a lot of control. We don't have a say so in much that happens here. Every day is a blessing, right? When it comes to our relationships, people, whatever area of your life that they're in, whether it be friendship, relationship, love. Sorry, I'm stuttering. I'm kind of sleepy, y'all. Shit, I'm tired. But what I'm trying to say here is, you cannot control people. You cannot control their actions. You cannot control what they do. You cannot control how they think. You cannot control anyone's beliefs, right? A lot of us, some people love to spit their opinions all the time, right? And they don't have the ability to allow other people to have their opinions and it still be respectful. A lot of people do not have that trait. A lot of people don't know how to debate effectively, right, when it comes to the opinion piece, right? But in general, you cannot control anyone. You can't. I feel like in all relationships, both parties have to show up for each other and want to participate in the relationship, whether it be a family dynamic, a friendship dynamic, or a romantic dynamic. So, this idea of control, you can't make someone do something that they don't want to do. You can't make them show up. And I think if you have that mentality, if you struggle with wanting to maintain control, especially in regards to having those high expectations, which may stem from control, people are gonna fucking disappoint you every time. People are flawed. Next, my last thing would be to learn self-care and how to handle yourself on your own, right? This leads into detachment. So whenever I'm disappointed with people, I figure out a way to detach and take care of myself and take care of my feelings in private. Because with maturing and with growing, I've really have had to learn that, oh, sorry, hold on, y'all. Let me see what time we on. Oh, I need to wear my glasses. I'm a mess. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that learn how to take care of yourself the best way that you can. And even, like, for me, I've had to learn that I know myself better than anyone. And I'm still getting comfortable with my relationship with self. I'm still learning how to trust myself. I'm still learning. Oh, sorry. Oh, Jesus. I'm over here burping. I have some water. It's water. I'm a mess. Sorry. Over here belching and stuff on camera. A mess. Anyways, learn how to take care of you because you know yourself better than anyone else. And when I say self-care, it could be small things like taking a walk and stuff like that, or getting rest and getting sleep, or writing your journal, or if you're in private, praying, doing prayer and talking to your higher self or the higher power or God or whoever that is for you, right? You have to learn how to take care of yourself sometimes because there are going to be times where there is no one around. In life, you will have lonely moments where your friend is just not available. They're probably at work, they're probably busy, they probably have a partner, they probably have kids or something like that. So I had to learn how to detach because I used to have a very I have an anxious attachment style, right? And if I really care about someone, I do get clingy. But as I've gotten a little bit older, I'm still a young gal, but as I've gotten older and after I've had like felt dynamics and relationships and friendships in my life, I learned how to kind of from people, right? Because especially if people don't care. I think what kind of made that come up in me is I've had a lot of situations where I didn't feel like people showed me that they cared. And I'm someone where I'm very direct and exact, right? Especially if we're not getting along. If I get heated with you, I'm very like, okay, what the hell? I'm very like, what's up? And when people don't show it, it I'm just like it makes me detach even more, right? And when that happens, I have to learn how to take care of myself and hold myself down. Because we all know ourselves better than anyone else. I don't care how close you are with anyone. When you go to bed at night, you know your thoughts, you know yourself. Last would be don't take things personal because that allows you to understand why people disappoint you. Ultimately, at the end of the day, whenever someone does something, that ain't got nothing to do with you. That's them, right? So if someone commits an action towards you, and if you didn't do anything wrong, because sometimes we mess up, sometimes we mess up too, right? If we didn't do anything wrong, then we have to understand um, that that's them, right? Now, if we did something wrong, you can't be upset when someone takes a certain action, right? But what I'm saying is that if you didn't do anything wrong and someone took an action against you, such as cheating on you or betraying you in the friendship or letting you down, not having follow through, forgetting to communicate. Like for me, communication is pivotal for me. I get so irritated at people who cannot communicate. It pisses me off. I cannot stand people who are not clear and direct. It annoys me, right? When people are all over the place and they're scattered, I'm like, I need you to focus and tell me what the hell is going on. I need to know what's going on. That's how I am, right? So that's one of those things where if I don't get it, I get annoyed. But I've even had to learn, okay, let me not take it personal. Maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe there's a reason why they're not giving me the communication that I need, right? All in all, when you pull away and if you look at situations objectively, so when we pull away the emotional factor, right? When we pull away how we feel and the offense of what happened, right? And how that hurt us. I'm not saying don't hurt, feel that pain. But when we pull away and we look at it logically, sometimes people do things because it's them. It's that fucking simple. It's that simple. It's them. I have a friend right now where we're having a pretty rocky time, and I'm not putting on, this is not me subbing or anything like that, but we're just, to me, it feels rocky. To them, it doesn't feel rocky. To me, it feels rocky because I feel like I'm left out in the cold, in this friendship. But to that person, they literally do not see it that way at all, right? So I'm hurting. I'm the one who's hurting. I'm the one who's sitting here like, oh, like I hate how I feel. I miss my friend. Like, why is this happening? But I have to understand that that person does not see it the same way as me. So what I've done is I've just detached. And now I'm at a point where initially I took it personal. But when I sat back and I reflected on why this is going on, I understand that that person is going through their own thing that has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me, right? So now I'm at the level of not taking it personal. It allowed me to understand why that friend disappointed me. I hope I'm making sense with that. So that's all I have to say on this particular. I keep stuttering. I'm so excited. That's all I have to say on this particular topic. And I hope you enjoyed this cute little video here about why people are disappointing or why people disappoint. Drop down in the comments below. Why am I stuttering? What the hell? Drop down in the comments below, guys, and let me know what you think. Okay, drop down in the comments. I want you to share like and subscribe if you are feeling the vibe of this video. Something that was just on my mind that I really wanted to really get out. And this is my second time recording this. So despite the stuttering, y'all, look, you're going to get this video or the stumbling with my speech. But thank you for tuning in. And I am so happy to have you all checking out my channel. So thank you.